Testing. Oh, to my audio. Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Water. Fire next time. I did a broadcast the other night. I had to take it down because my audio was really bad. I got in some new mics, and I don't know if it's sounding that way. But I have a title called "They Won't Leave Us Alone." That the other show I did was "Why Can't They Leave Us Alone?" Which right now. Hold on a second. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Let's straighten something out real quick. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. As I was saying, you know, we've black people, we're at a pretty good place right now. I know they're doing a lot to eliminate us. They can't do much to us physically. They're trying to eliminate us from different things like out of the record book and other things and other matters. But it's not hurting us any. Because if they don't want to celebrate King Day, we can do it. They don't want to celebrate anything about black people, we don't need them. Look at Cinco de Mayo. It's one of the biggest Hispanic holidays, but it's not government sanctioned. Ours don't have to be government sanctioned for us to celebrate it. We can do it ourselves. The reason I say they won't leave us alone, they're trying all type of tactics to get a rise out of us. Talking about burning down black farms, setting up all white towns. We know them, the tactics don't change. See what they talking about? White farms talking about burning down black farms, just like they did Tulsa, Rosewood, and a lot of other black towns in Ohio and out west. When black people start outperforming them economically, they want to burn them out. Tactics haven't changed. But the thing is, we have. You come and try to burn something now. Yours gonna burn and you gonna burn too. Reform with fire and you with some lead. It's not 1925. You better watch yourself. They're talking about creating all white towns. And while blacks upset, we're not upset. They just them saying we're upset. They want us to be upset. We don't care. We want to come to them little hick towns anyway. It's nothing new. Most white people in the United States, the majority of them live in all white cities and all white towns. Black people, as I said in the other broadcast, black people mostly live in metropolitan areas. Once you get outside of that, you can barely find a black person. So that's nothing new to us. There's one thing you all forget. We don't want to be around you anyway. We don't want to be around you. We want to segregate now. We tried integration. It doesn't work. Well, it really wasn't integration. It's us coming to yours. You're not coming to ours. Ours go out of business while yours thrive. And we had to try it, and the reason it had to be tried was when black people first came out of slavery, we tried to have all black towns, but you kept burning down when we started doing well. Yeah. And we tried to go off to ourselves, and you wouldn't let us. What you did was, when you saw we was uh, outperforming you economically, you ruined it. And it was sanctioned by the government because law enforcement helped. They dropped dynamite on Tulsa from the air. They bombed American City, a part of it. You don't mind us having our own, those are something you created. You let us take over some city that you know is dying. Then it become an all black city when we was dying anyway. But when black people create our own, we prosper. We live in poverty when we take over some mess. You left us. And that's what we're gonna have to do. Create our own. Taking all these old cities that the white people that ran off from. Because white people don't keep with something that's worth something. Anytime you see them running, that city's dying. It's on its way out, it's on a decline. Then you take it over and then they tell me how you living in poverty. They know if they had stayed, they would have been living in poverty also. Because usually the cities they leave had industry. All the industry left out of the country because of the 21st century. economy doesn't do a lot of manufacturing. And Trump doesn't know that. Up and coming nations do a lot of manufacturing. Remember when everything was made in Japan? As Japan economy evolved, they stopped a lot of manufacturing. If China manufacturing evolved, they're going to stop a lot of manufacturing. But they find these idiots who don't know that. But getting back to what I was talking about. Okay. For people who everyone say they don't want to be around, they can't stand the savages, they sure can't leave us alone. The Latinos crying for us, where the blacks at? Same thing. Who's that when you wouldn't help us? You used to be honorary whites. You voted to be where you're at. And we're gonna come save you. We got our own battles. Look at everything that they've eliminated. They're attacking us right now. It's just not in the way they're attacking you because they've done all that to us. So we're next. No, you're the next. You're the new in words because we've been through 500 years of this. You only been through 5 months. You crying and like the love. Be you know what? We ain't come crying to you. Matter of fact, you spitting on those black cops in LA calling them the N word. You're all on social media. And my black people didn't build nothing. We only picked the cotton. How do you think the White House got built? Infrastructure to Washington, D.C. We built the infrastructure because white people didn't start doing the work until after machinery was made. They lazy. They're too lazy to pick the cotton. They're too lazy to work these farms. That's why they had to get you because we stopped doing it. We stopped doing it, so they had to get you. But no one's saying anything about why don't white people go work the farms if they're lazy. That's why you Latinos was here in the first place. They're too lazy. And they've been calling us lazy since we stopped working for free. When we were working for free, we weren't lazy then. But look, if people would just leave us alone, we would thrive. But they won't. They sabotage. Every time we start excelling, they sabotage. They try to make it seem like as though you're just inferior. They need us to look down on them to feel good about themselves. And if we start thriving, they'll know that it wasn't us, it's them. But they know that already. They know it's them. But back to what I was saying about the white towns. You go all over this nation, you got white people living in all white cities. They don't have to be around us. Those who do is because they want to, so they can have something to talk about. You don't have to be around us. The only reason we come around you is for resources. That we wouldn't have to be around you. Now I saw on what some white farmers had burned a black woman and fed her to the pigs. You see, that was in South Africa. That wasn't in the United States. The but see, those some people in South Africa heard a lie that the black people didn't want to come to their business. It didn't happen, but we don't want to come. We don't have to. We don't want to. But that didn't happen. Somebody want to go to war with us. All these white folks from Holland is done to you, taking over your nation, taking your resources. You are 63 million people, they're 8% of the population. And even after apartheid, they still own 75% of farmland, control 96% of the wealth. Treat you like dogs in your own nation. Come on, got the nerve to handle to come and burn up a black woman in a black country because they know you're not going to do nothing. But yeah, you talking about going to war with us? You're looking at the wrong enemy. I knew you all were kind of silly anyway, but from Nelson Mandela. That was one silly man. I told you this before. Okay, they kept him in prison for 27 years. They said he wouldn't have to go to prison or they'll let him out anytime he denounced violence as a way to end apartheid. He said he's not going to do that. 27 years later, what does he do? Denounce violence as the end of apartheid. You're going to go spend 27 years in prison, then turn around and do what they want you to do. What you could have done in the first place. You didn't have to abide by it, but you could have just said, orchestrated from behind the scenes. You go to 27 years in prison and then turn around and do just what they asked you to do in the first place. What kind of sense does that make? None to me. I said, no, yeah, I denounce it. Then said have a clandestine operation. Have some people run, or they just have to catch me again. I'm not going to do 27 years and then do exactly what they wanted me to do in the first place. I wouldn't have had to do a day. But everyone praises him for that. It don't make sense to me. But you try to pick wars with the wrong people. The Jamaicans saying we don't have they now call us foundational Black Americans because we helped in the foundation of this nation. But see that people from Africa can come here and say African Americans talking about they weren't part of reparations. That one of the reasons we're here. But look, they said that the Jamaicans said we don't have a country. We do. It's called the United States of America. We help build this. We help, so that make us part of the founders. We was here in the foundation. We helped build it. Some black people was already over here before slavery. So we do have a nation. That's just like saying the white people who came here and built this right along with us is their country, but not ours. How's it any more theirs than not ours? But if Jamaica's so great, what you doing over here? See, we help in the foundation of this nation. The, the immigrants from Europe and the rest of you all you came to live off the fat of the land. We helped in the foundation of it, not just to live off the fat of the land, to try to improve our lives, like you all are trying to do, but you claim your nation's so great. Excuse me. Jamaica's so great, why are you here? The Haitians have a little look down on us. The Mexicans. You know how the Haitians came? Well, I said this the other night. Jesse Jackson is the reason the Haitians they stopped turning the Haitians away. When Bill Clinton was running for president, he was doing poorly in the primaries. And he went to Jesse Jackson, went to Bill Clinton, and told him if he let the Haitians come in, he'd back him for president. Bill Clinton agreed. Jesse Jackson backed him, and the rest is history. Jesse Jackson went down to the Mexican border and protested on behalf of the Mexicans. Why he did it, I don't know, because I sure wouldn't have. I can understand what he did for the Haitians, but now they want to talk crap about us too. That's why I'm not crying for none of them. I'm not crying for any of them. Anyone else want to, that's your privilege. I'm only looking out for us here. Everyone else has to look out for themselves. If they do well in Africa, fine. If they don't, that's for them to worry about. You don't want to let them people come over and take all your stuff. Even let them take us. If you all do fine, that's good. But I'm not going to be concerned about it. I'm concerned about people who are here and them keep bothering us. But let's not fall for the stuff they're doing. Let's not let them trick us into anything. We have to mind our own business. We don't need to do no protesting, none of that. Matter of fact, we had stopped protesting after Michael Brown anyway, but people didn't realize that was mostly white people, which I appreciate them white people for doing this. White people actually did more protesting in Black Lives Matter than black people. That's why they started this woke program, because a lot of white people was getting tired of that mess. They were getting tired of it, and they helped us out a lot. We have more white allies than people of color. They never been our allies. I tell you, in St. Louis, you drive certain streets, you can drive from the black area to the white area and vice versa. You drive in the black area, you would see Black Lives Matter signs here and there. When you get in the white area, you saw Black Lives Matter sign in every yard. So we have to appreciate them for that. They actually took up that fight for us in those latter years of protesting. So that's why I said when you hear me speak to something about whites, I'm talking about the ones who's doing that. We can't speak against all of them because they, I know some may be our problem, some have been our biggest ally against their own people. We can't ask for no more than that. People of color and Mexicans has never been our allies. When I lived in Los Angeles around Mexicans, they hated us and still do. The majority of the policemen in Los Angeles now are Latino, and they really give black people a hard time there. Many of the policemen who have killed black people under suspicious circumstances had Latino surnames. You voted because you wanted to hurt other people. You know what the Africans and the many of the Latinos said when Trump was talking about the thugs and gangsters and the thugs and gangsters and immigrants. They thought he was talking about black people, foundational black people from here. Who they thought they were trying to hurt us. How stupid can you be? Most of the people who voted for Trump tried to, it was someone that they wanted to hurt. One Latino guy said, "Well, I wanted to see the liberals cry." His father got deported. Now he's crying. Even the black people voted for Trump. They wanted to see something that had happened to someone else. And that's no reason to vote for a candidate out of spite for someone else. Now, I voted for Kamala Harris, and I'm going to say this to black women. You all made it seem, and everyone else, made it seem like black men just jumped ship. The last poll showed that black women voted 92% for Harris, black men 87%. The way people talk, you think black men just jumped ship and went over to Trump. And 5.5 percentage point difference in a national election is not that great, give or take a few. And when you look at the percentage wise, that shows that more black women in numbers. There's more black women than men, more black female voters than black males. More black women in numbers voted for Trump than black men. Just percentage wise, more black men voted for Trump. But everyone made it seem like black men just jumped ship and went to the Republicans. And you kind of helped with the ones who really voted for him. You actually ruined Kamala's campaign. You made it seem as though it was a sister girl movement. Made a big deal about her race and gender. That's something you don't do. Instead of building that up, you should have been playing that down. You don't run an election out of emotion, you run it out of strategy. Black men built the black voting machine, and black women are dismantled. You do it from the precinct level. That's what the black men did. People like Jesse Jackson, Andrew Young, Julian Bond, Roy Ennis, they built the black voting machine, that black voting bloc. They got in with organizations. What organization did you all get in? They got in with CORE. They got in with the Rainbow Coalition, the NAACP, the Urban League. They worked with another organization. What organization did you all work with? Around here talking about your Delta or sorority, that don't get it. That turned people out more than anything. Even Joe Biden joined in on when he won in his election. Black women voted. I think it was like 96% for Biden. Black men 92%. He think black women said nothing about black people. Since when we black women and black women being now? We used to be black people. There were black men talk about black people. The black women only want to talk about black women. If you all want to segregate from us, go ahead. So we can make it without you can't make it without us. These other men don't like y'all like that. The other women like us like that. They'll take you to the motel and that's it. You better be glad the black men still want to deal with it. I can't even ask a black woman, you ask her, do she know where something at? She don't even want to give you an answer. And if she do, you say no snorky way like leave me alone. I leave you alone because I have. If you other black men want to keep on messing with these snorky women, we can go ahead. There's other women out here who like you even more than they do. Time for this foolishness to stop. You all want to be segregated from us? Do it all the way. I don't have time to play with it. These other guys play with you, let them talk to you, them any kind of way. I'm not going to play with it. And the men like me are not going to play with you. Go about your business and leave us alone. You don't want us? Leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. You can just deal with the simps that who take all that mess off of you. But look, back to what I was saying about they won't leave us alone. Look, we've stopped reacting to all this stuff a long time ago. Sundown cities. Who cares? Them a crappy town. I want to be there at night. Not even we don't even want to be there in the day, let alone at night. Who want to be there at night in those little crappy towns? I don't even know why they want to be there. We got our own towns to go to. Most of white America, like I said, already live in all white towns. Once you leave out of the metropolitan areas, you can barely find a black person. Black people in most states, except in states like Texas, Florida, a few southern states, most black people are not all over the state. And even in those states, they're mostly around the metropolitan area, like Mississippi. Most there's some out in outlying areas, but the majority of black people in towns like Jackson. And by the way, I found that Jackson, they talk against Jackson. Most of the funding from Mississippi goes through Jackson and then goes out to the rest of the state. They get more than Jackson. Jackson funds Mississippi. Just as the blue states fund the red states. But look, they don't react to all these things that are happening. You just want to get a rise out of it. When you're minding your own business. Nothing's bothering you. You're at peace. We're being attacked in ways that's not even bothering. See, Trump is so dumb. He thought that eliminating affirmative action DEI was going to hurt him, but we was benefiting very little, if anything, from those programs. He had a black face on it, but it was white women mostly lost jobs. We didn't. We're doing just fine. But and thought we were going. Do you know how ridiculous it was to think black people don't have jobs? When you see black people working every day, when you thought black people didn't have jobs, if we And then when they job going out the kids, work those farms. They don't know these kids not gonna work no farm. When them do some electronics, they're not gonna touch it. But still, but say black people don't have jobs, and they see you working every day. You see, when you certain things you want to believe, you're gonna believe it anyway. Even those who work with you every day, you say this: black people don't have jobs. 64% of black men in the middle class. Black men still make more money than black women, even though they go to college. They're not the most educated. They just want. I gotta tell you why. K through 12 is education. College is training, not education. It's a 4-year trade school where you spend money 2 extra years learning a bunch of crap you're not going to use anyway. Many people don't even declare their major until until they become a sophomore or a junior in college. To their third year, they waste 2 years. You see, the type of job women normally have, they didn't make a lot of money. They have to get a degree to make what a man can make by going and getting a job in a factory, warehouse, plumber, electrician, policeman, fireman. That's why more women go to college, but black men still make more money. Because no women make more money than the men. They just tell you that to make you feel good. You got a bunch of simps come up behind you saying that. If all you is making so much money, why you expect a man to pay your light bill just to take you on a date? Man, date me, he gotta do it. You don't know what a date is. Date is you go out to dinner, go to a movie, concert. Matter of fact, you old people ain't no business dating anyway. Get your mate. And we're not in high school no more. People now think dating is marriage. If I go out with you, I want you to spend your money to take me out. Then you gotta pay my bills. I pay bills where I live. Anybody else, and your bills you pay. That's why it's called your bills. You so educated. You got all these degrees. Pay your own stuff. College is good for women. That's how they make more money. But men don't have to necessarily go to college to make money. As a matter of fact, most millionaires come from work from blue collar. You can open a business, be an electrician, a plumber. But with most degrees, you go get a job. Unless you're going for something like doctor, attorney. Most of you not going for that. You're getting those old BS degrees. Humanities, sociology, business administration, communication. You're not gonna make a lot of money with those degrees. You're gonna make by what a man makes by working at a warehouse factory or less. I know I started on a subject that really was something that really wasn't my subject, but there's so much I can talk about that. But I'm just saying because black men, we may have to go and segregate from you black women. You segregate from us, cause I'm not getting tired of this foolishness. The way you all walking around here looking like drag queens. And you know they did a thing years ago. RuPaul back in the 80s. He said one day black women gonna be looking like that. See the way you are looking now. They used to call those glamour shots. You put on the hair and the lashes and nails. They had to go out of business because now the women are sitting at the breakfast table looking like that every day. I don't want to see that. The reason I know you don't like us, when you get with a white man, you take all that stuff off. And you think we're not worth it. Now, I've talked to a lot of black men, they're getting tired of it. I've been tired of it. They're about getting tired of you, though. They're tired of the disrespect. You jump up there for yelling and screaming. Hit them, then when they hit you back, everybody talk about man shouldn't hit a woman under no circumstance. These are not the women of old. These are hyenas. They bring the fight to the man. If I stand there and let a woman hit me in my eye, it's gonna be just as I'm supposed to say, and it's all swollen up. Well, it's okay because a woman did. We're letting these women jump up in your face and say any kind of thing to you. You always gotta hit me. Anybody bring too much hostility to me. I'm not gonna wait on somebody to hit me. Then you wanna call the police over something that you started. I saw this video and this was no AI. These women was 4 women attacking this man. Black woman, it was a black man. Trying to pull his pants down. The other man got the camera laughing. Then he tried to go in his pocket and take his money, which is robbery. He got tired and started punching him out and was laying him out. You know those men that was laughing at first went over there and jumped on that man. Some simps went over there and jumped on that man because he was defending himself and stopping the crime. Going in somebody's pocket, taking their money is robbery. See, we have to stop trying to take things into our own hands. That video that was on social media of them doing that, and this was a real one. That should have been turned over to the police. That's what I would have done. These women robbed me because they had it on social media. You know, he should have been able to see it. And these men attacked me. That's what I would have done. All done because you a snitch. Yep, I report crimes. You can call it whatever you want to. I report a crime. Snitching is a gang logo. For those, snitching is when you and I go do something together and I tell on you. And I do that if you keep me out of jail. To be honest about it. But the thing is, Alexander, I see that. Yeah, yeah. See, a lot of times we have one way aggression. We have one way aggression. Women can do whatever they want to men. There was a 70-year-old guy, 4-year-old guy. Police came and beat this man up over a lie. It was a white guy. Beat him up over a lie. 74 years old now, that this woman told. The man had a stroke behind that dude. That woman didn't do 1 day in jail. And another thing that happened was there was I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think about too much at one time. But yeah, but oh yeah, when the woman accused men of rape, did 30 years in jail. They find out she lied. He gets out. He may get a money, some money, $1 or $2 million. She don't do a day in jail. And you know what woman told me? Well, maybe they think if they start arresting the women, they won't come forward and tell the truth. But they don't. Out of 100, you know how many women came, how many got out of jail? Men got out of jail because women told the truth? Zero. Matter of fact, they held on to the lie. But none of them ever did a day in jail for messing that man's life up. We got one-way aggression. And I tell you, it's really getting out of hand with this. And another thing, the the man may get a million, million and a half, spend all that time in jail, but a woman can say she was sexually harassing. They get like 37 million. The woman said she was sexually harassed, got 37 million. I think one got 87 million. How you get that much for harassment? We had a man spend 25, 30 years in jail over a lie, and he just get a million or two. It's so tilted in women's favor that a lot of men don't even want to get married anymore. I mean, only thing that's gonna happen, they gonna stay married for 4 or 5 years. She gonna wait till the mortgage get paid and then file for divorce. I know I'm off subject, but I didn't talk about it just so long I can talk about that. But I've seen it happen. Guy I knew sleeping in his car and brought to the house. And her and her boyfriend sleeping, her new man sleeping in his house. He's sleeping in his car. Now, why are you sleeping in your car? I saw him out there by 7-Eleven one day. And they get divorced with me, man. She got all, her and her boyfriend got all my stuff. And I'm sleeping in my car. That'll make you do something to somebody. That'll make a man, normally peaceful man, do something to somebody. Taking their stuff like that. Yeah, taking their stuff like that. And it's getting to the place where, you know, men are afraid to get married now. You get with a man, you have a 10 or 15-year boyfriend or relationship who can't stay married but a few years. Oh, there are no good men. There's plenty out there. I heard a black woman say, all these women said, you can only find a man with no children. 51% of black men are single and childless, and they're not homosexual. Like, 80% of black children born to single parents, about like between 16 and 18% of the men. Of course, you're gonna all have children when y'all having babies with the same men. When women are left to choose a man for themselves, they all go gravitate towards the same few men. It even happens in the animal world if they able to choose by themselves. Because if you bought, I told you this before, I'm gonna say it again. If you bought when you start a horse farm, you don't go buy 10 fillies and 10 mares. But the fillies are the female horse and mares the male horse. You buy 1 or 2 mares and 10 fillies. Next thing you know, you got a herd. If you go buy 10 fillies and 10 mares, 1 or 2 of them gonna still make all the babies. The strongest of the bunch. The women, female horses gonna have still have babies by the same 1 or 2, which just about plays out evenly like in the human world. It's nature. That's why people used to choose a woman's husband for her, which make me to what I'm gonna do, Alexander. Oh, let me read what Alexander said. Did you see the case of that young black man in Madison, Illinois, named Lamont? Can't recall his surname. The poor guy took his life at 24. No, that's terrible. Upstanding black man, his ex lied on him and told people he was a bum on welfare, etc. And it got to him. I'm sure she won't see any punishment. Yeah, they're probably gonna console her for it. Rest in peace, because you deserve it. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. They can do whatever they want to do. And it goes across all spectrum, all races. The women, they got giving women the upper hand now. Maybe it'll settle down. See, before 1945, when a woman filed for divorce, she left with what she came when the man got the children. Now, man, it's almost like the children belong to her. And it only his if she allow it. When women don't give life, women give birth. Men give life through seed, through the seed. Women give birth. And in the Bible, it made women seem like they was no more than a foreign piece of dirt. That's the way it talk in the Old Testament. Like women didn't even matter. They just had those children and shut up. But we treat them better than that. But they don't treat us better because I tell you that if you look at what women put men through, but yet he gets the blame for all of it. Because if a man cheat on a woman, well, let me tell this about I with some people one time, and sick of people know who I'm talking about. And the woman was there, she was out there, and she was talking to the women. I can't help but hear them, they talk so loud. I wasn't eavesdropping, but after I could hear it, I was listening. She said her and her husband breaking up, she don't want a divorce. Oh, they talking about elf him and all that. She said she don't bet she want a husband. And then they asked her, what was some cheating? And she said, yeah. Oh, all these men do is cheat. And, just winning in on the man. She said, no, he didn't cheat. I cheated. Girl, what did he do to make you cheat? He had to do something to make her cheat. The statistics show that men cheat just as much as that women cheat just as much as men, but they got less reason because there's more women than men. But see, it always seems like a person cheating when you all of them messing around with the same few men. And see with the those and the few men you mess with are usually not the best quality men. You know how I know? Because later on you be talking about I want me a good man. Yeah, you want your good man, 3 babies and 80 pounds later. Now you think a good man want you, and you got the nerve. And black women, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all gotta quit thinking you can get the worst first and settle for the best later. You don't settle for the best. If you get the best first and then you may have to settle for the worst, you're backwards. I gave you a scenario before. I have to give white women and other women credit. When they come into the castle, they look at the top. They know they're not gonna get the king, the prince. They work their way down. They know they're gonna get somebody. All they're gonna see is good men. They're working their way down. Black women come in. You come in and see who's the cutest, finest, got the best penis, then work your way up. All you see is no good men. That's why to you there are no good men. By the time you do get where the decent guys at, like I said, babies and pounds later, then all messed up in the head. He's not gonna want you. You know, when the world good men, black men going against white women and other women. He's not getting it because she's white. The way he's getting it, because of the way she treated him. She comes more feminine and talk to him better. There used to be a time when I was younger. Oh, I don't even think I was 10 years old, maybe 8 years old. And when you see a black man with a white woman, you know what they would say? Oh, he just with her for nice treatment. And I got older, I started thinking and said, well, I remember asking one of my aunts, why come he can't get nice treatment from a black woman? Couldn't say anything. You can't keep mistreating someone, then they're gonna stick with you. They can't. I'm talking about this in my broadcast I had to delete. I got some new mic system I gotta learn how to control him because he was kind of over modulated. And it sounded to I'm using one right now, believe it or not. I'm just about whispering. But I have to find a way to keep that busy. I'm just about whispering right now. But yeah, we need to stop this women with aggression where women can do whatever they want to. A lot of women are waking up. They're making a lot of social media posts about things that what women are doing. Like tear down men. And a lot of you black women, if you every post you make on social media is talking against men, against black men. As soon as he make one, oh, he's the devil. But just so long you can speak against someone, they're not going to speak back. Does oh, I do good. 'Cause I have to whisper this. Look, there's the a guy, another guy I know. He said as soon as he paid the mortgage, a month later his wife filed for divorce. You know, then you don't pay the mortgage, file for divorce while you're paying the mortgage. They wait till after it's paid. You know, quiet some things. Then they're ready to get divorced. Cause see, married women got married wrong. I know I'm talking about women now, but I didn't do that. And I'm from a male perspective because I'm a man. You hear from women what women think all the time. Okay, men, see, every women say all the time, why come a man if he's doing well and he's not married, what's wrong with him? Do you ever stop to examine yourself and see maybe what's wrong with you? If someone you got a product, someone's not. See, when a man you reach a level, a good level, you're the product. He's the consumer. If someone's not buying a product, you don't say what's wrong with the consumer. You examine that product. If you're gonna deal with Putin and Ray Ray, you know that's an entirely different matter. I don't even deal with them. The problem is you, not him. If you say as soon as a black man's making money, he go get a white woman or Asian woman or some other kind of woman, do you ever stop to think why? Instead of just pointing fingers at him, you've dealt with so many Pookies and Ray Rays, now you get with Paul and want to treat him like Pookie. Get with Raymond and want to treat him like Ray Ray. He's not going to put up with it. He's not going to put up with it because that's what you're used to, that chaotic behavior. And many of you will call Paul and Raymond dull, lame, even accuse him of being a homosexual because he's polished and articulate. But see, so a person just think, a person can't get what they want from their home, they're gonna go get it somewhere else. So kind of examine yourself some instead of always examining the man. Like something has to be wrong with him, but yet nothing's wrong with you. And say, well, why are we losing the good black men? Why are we losing them? Not why they keep running over there. Take accountability for a change. I listen to when I talk to a lot of black men, and they talk about how a woman mistreated them. And I'm talking about black men because these are the ones I heard say that. And they'll tell say what she did and all that. You know he always end up saying, well, that's her. They ain't got nothing to do with it. They don't have nothing to do with the next woman. But when you hear women talk about what a man have done to her, she end up, then you know what she end up saying? All these old men just ain't no good. And she'll take all that over into the next relationship. They wonder why she can't get along with anymore. You ever notice when you're in an argument with a woman or in a discussion with her, it seems like she's talking more than just you. She's talking, you talking single, and she's talking plural. Oh, y'all, oh, you men, oh, men, this and men, that. Would you got you another man or something? This is between you and I. She got all that from those past relationships in her mind. And like she's arguing with all of them. I said this in on the other when I made, but I just delete that because my audio was too bad. But that was lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think of so much stuff at one time, and I'm sometimes that's why I mumble my words. I'm getting ready to go into the next thought before I finish the first one. But there's a scientific study. I thought about this before, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't have no scientific proof. Just I don't like to just go off too much of what I think when it comes to something like this. But I often thought that the reason people say body count more means more towards women than men. It seems like the women take part of each man they've been with, and it's a part of them. But there's a sign, you can look this up yourself and say that anytime a woman has sex with a man, his hormones are still in her. There's a sign saying it's not me, but it backed up what I was thinking. That may be why they be thinking they're arguing with all of you at the same time. Now, that what the research says. I often thought that could be true, could not be, but I wouldn't even mention it. I do have some statistics, something to back up what I'm thinking. That science is wrong and it's wrong, but I've often thought that. I never brought it up before until I read about it. A man don't keep female hormones. That's why he can move on and don't bring all that baggage with him. You bring it all with you. You arguing with this man about some stuff he don't have nothing to do with. I've had that to happen. And she's arguing with me for something that haven't even happened between us. What are you talking about? But that was years ago because I'd be at peace now. I'm too old to be getting in that kind of stuff. And that's why I say most of the stuff you see on social media, these are middle-aged people putting up all this crazy stuff. And when the young people putting it up, they're sharing it from what some old person put up. You haven't gotten it together yet. If, there's this song, I forget who sings it, it's called Get It Together and Leave It Alone. Oh yeah, that's not the name of the song. It say, Get it together, leave it alone. You don't move my love and I'll be gone. That phrase I like. If we haven't gotten it together, just to leave it alone now this time. You have people in 40s, 50s, still dating like the teenagers, talking about relationship. Oh, he don't bring me flowers and he's not romantic. Come on, grow up. Romance benefit the women, don't benefit the man. He just do it because he know you like it. Anything you can help him get some, that's all. Then cause, what a man benefit not bringing you flowers? And grow up. That's that Disney Hallmark stuff. Keep selling stuff. Marriage didn't used to be about no love and all that. It was more of an arrangement. Keep a legacy going. I'm like a business arrangement. Used to be a time men would have a mail order bride. Sent for her in the mail. She wasn't concerned about how cute and fine he was. But now, when he I want to, I divorced because I'm not happy no more. It's not a job to make you happy. When you five, you keep a 5-year-old happy. Dang a little toy in front of them so they to keep them occupied. You're not 5 years old. Why you gotta work? Happiness comes, happiness goes. I'm not here to make you happy. You're not a little child. I got divorced. I don't love him like I used to. Love got to do with it. Love come, love goes. If you're gonna marry every time your feelings change, divorce, you may as well stay single. But your feelings are gonna always change. That's why you have to evolve. The relationship has to evolve. You're not gonna always have that tingling feeling you used to have. You have to evolve. Grown women having pajama parties. You why your daughters and granddaughters at the babysitter. They have to be at a babysitter. They can't have a pajama party because mama and grandma had a pajama party. What you doing with all those women? They be the first one to choose black men. Well, I just can't say black men, but men being homosexual. Yeah, women love to holler that out. The statistics are showing that women have a very much higher percentage of being homosexual than men. Is that you can masquerade, y'all can rub all over each other, all on the dance floor, rubbing all over each other, boobs and butts. No one think anything of it. Leave us alone. You don't want to be bothered with. Time for playing is over. 2025, and you didn't got up 50 years old and still can't get this relationship thing together, marriage together. This bitch you leave it alone. And just get you some booty calls every now and then. You just not built for a relationship. You are her. You that old can't get it together. That Alexander, black women treat other men better. They don't like us. They like y'all. They don't like us. You know why? The white friends of mine told me every time they talk with black women, and not always when they was going with just friends. She always told them how much she hates black men. She did. And it was different ones. They didn't even know each other. She always told them how much she hates. I told you hates black men, but I told you how when they get with a white man, they'll take all their weave off. They'll take them lashes off, take those nails off. Black men been telling you about that since you started. You take it off for a white man, and they said instead they back up off the black stuff when they get with them. You just don't think black men are worth it because you're so used to getting with the pookies and red rays. And you you don't know what it's like to be with a Paul on right now. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Alexander. Most smart, particularly polished black men are called homosexual. If you don't pay attention, certain woman want him, he don't pay any attention. There's always something wrong with him. Never anything wrong with her. Never anything wrong with her. Always has to be him. I know I started off talking about performers and all, but it's just so long I can talk about that subject. It's not a long subject that I can talk about. Um, I had talked about it before. A lot of this stuff I'm talking about now, I talked about it the other night, but I had to delete that one because the audio was so poor. Yeah, so we're gonna let me take a quick break and I'll be right back. I didn't turn my audio on there. Oh man, I did all that talking and didn't even hear my audio on. Okay, let me repeat what I said. I was talking about when my when I had my Chinese woman when I lived in Los Angeles. A lot of people criticized me for that, but I didn't care. That's the best relationship I ever had. But she moved back to Ithaca, New York because she got a job at Cornell University, which she graduated from. And I wouldn't run up behind no woman going to that little town. But that was a great relationship, though. Best I ever had. And then probably me and another Chinese woman. And see now, um, I think all men are having trouble with women now because according to what I see on social media, get this guy, man. He's a white guy. White guy, he's usually on point. I see him on TikTok a lot. And then Kevin Samuels, he passed away. You know, I saw how black women were rejoicing in his death because he was telling the truth. Some of them. But this white guy, the bald guy with a great goatee, he's usually on point. He let you know it's not just black women, it's just women, period. But well, you know, I mostly be around black people, women, so I know it's black women on social media turn me and black men down all the time. Then put up a picture of a white man. Ooh, he's so cute, he's so fine. Always got a crush on him. Then put up a picture, an AI picture of a black man with a dress on. I know I'm off topic, but I do it sometimes. So I'm not gonna hold you long tonight. I just 'cause I know I get off topic. I usually do, but it's just that we got a big problem right now between the men and the women. I don't see it going away anytime too soon. We got to do something with our community feeling. These women raising these violent children. And I see them the way they're raising these children. They're not raising them. They're bullying them. They're not teaching them anything. You better not do this. You better not do that. Hitting on them. That make them grow up violent. Anytime someone do something they don't like, they think they have to physically punish them. The women fighting all the time. The men don't even fight that much anymore. The women doing most of the fighting. Tomorrow, none of those men broke it up. I'll be one of those men who won't break it up. I'm not getting in the middle of that mess. No one's attacking her. She's doing what she wants to do. She want to box. She's boxing another woman. I'm not getting in the middle of it. Anyone else want to be my guest? I don't even want to look at it. I'll walk right on by. Like, I don't see it. I hear people arguing and fussing. I don't see around the city. Taking out my phone, laughing and grinning. It's not funny to me. I haven't seen I haven't seen none of all that fighting in person. Just on video. I know a lot of it's AI. Some of it's staged. Hit somebody 30 times in the face. You don't see no blood, no swelling, no nothing. All that staged. But some of it's real. I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen fussing, arguing. And can't you let your feelings be known or have a disagreement without everyone in town knowing about it? I've seen people from other demographics, they arguing, you don't even know they are. If you don't look at their body language. Why we gotta be heard all over the store, all over the neighborhood? You ever said about something? Why can't you just go talk to a person, let them know what you're displeased by? Instead of getting loud and calling names, they can't help but lead to a fight. You make a person who don't normally fight and come to them like that. So there's what you get. Sometimes a verbal assault can get so bad until it brings a physical response. When a man says something to a woman that she really don't like, what does she do? Many times she'll hit him. And men, women admitted that usually when the man hit them, they usually hit him first. People have been asking me, why don't you talk about relationships? I don't want to get off about relationship per se. But I talk about things that happen between men and women. They got to straighten up. It won't be no relationship. But really not now. You just people, people jumping from one man and woman to another. And then you keep talking about why men cheat. Let me get back on that. You know what? You know why you cheat? That's how you got it. So women don't care about men cheating. They just don't want to be cheated on. If you give another woman man, yeah, don't cheat. That's how a lot of them you got it. He was with somebody else. And you was messing around with him, now he with you. And you wonder why he cheating on you. That's why he was a cheater when you met him. You helped him. Now he's returning the favor to you. Now you don't want to talk about stuff like that. You knew he was a cheater because you helped. That's how you got it. Many times. But every man that cheats, he's cheating with the woman. And that woman know he has someone. Not many men cheating with a woman. And then she don't know he got a wife or a woman. You know, you don't mind cheating, you just don't want to be cheated on. Oh, I know I got off subject tonight. But that way everybody be texting me want to talk about men and women. That's what they mostly want to talk about. And you gotta give the people what they want. For a long time I wouldn't talk about stuff like this. That's what everyone want to hear about. You gotta give them what they want, don't you? I'm not gonna watch if you don't give them what they want. That, uh, that took care of that neck problem I saw one just then. But yeah, but that flyer that I put up, as you can begin again, is a program is going for those who just have addiction or maybe just depressed or just need someone to talk to. It's gonna be a new. It's called You Can Begin Again. It's gonna be a new Shining Light Church at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois. Now the coordinator is Frederick Harold, and the pastor is Bishop John H. Williams. It's at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois. It starts at 3 p.m. So go by and check it out if you can. Also, they're going to have the back to school giveaway, the new Shining Light at 740 Broadway in Venice, Illinois on August 23rd. I think that's at 3 p.m. Also, they're going to have giveaway book supplies. So school's going to be starting back, and I know your children are going to need some book supplies. So stop by and check them out. They do a lot for that new Shining Light. And if you even want to go to church also, my brother's a pastor on 43rd and Converse, New Mount Zion Primitive Baptist Church at Roger Allen. That's my brother. Go by and check him out. His service started at 11. Sunday school at 10 o'clock. Yeah, but getting back to what I was talking about, yeah, I started talking about this subject because it's what everyone wants to hear about. You have to give the people what they want to hear or what they want to talk about. I talk about it from the male perspective because I'm a man. If there's a woman sitting here, she'd be talking about it from the female perspective, which is would be completely different. She wondering about because she's gonna blame everything on him. Why these men this? Why these men that? Why you that way you are? You have to examine yourself and quit blaming other people sometimes. When I see things not going right between me and someone, I start off like that, trying to see what they're doing wrong. Then I have to stop and examine myself. And then I can say, yeah, they are wrong. I have to examine myself. But you have to do some self-examination. Take accountability. Instead of trying to deflect, you talk to a woman. Oh, he can't say nothing. He's bald head. That's the kind of stuff they say. My bald head means facts are not facts. That's the kind of deflection that they do. Well, I'm not gonna hold you long tonight, but I hope you got something from that first tip you got had about people who just leaving us alone. No one. Just trying to live the best we can and try to make it the best we can, and you know, leave other folks alone. If they want to be left alone, well, we're leaving you alone. Why won't you let us? So I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm getting a little sleepy now. And I'm going to sit here and feel like I'm drunk on this rise coffee I'm drinking here, not no alcohol. Because one night I got sleepy. He said, man, you falling asleep like you drunk. Now I was falling asleep and I think I was on until about 12 o'clock. I started late. But look, I'm going to have to close this off because I am getting a little sleepy now. I thank you all for tuning in and the input you gave. And I hope you all watch next time. I'm on YouTube on City of Champions Media on YouTube. Now, I normally don't broadcast on this page on Facebook. I have a City of Champions Media page on Facebook and a ESL 89 Blocks page on Facebook and another more on the page. But I forgot to change my setting over again. That's why I'm on my personal page tonight. But I thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure talking. I can't say with you, but Alexander, I appreciate you. I don't want to say your name. I may say it wrong. Victoria, Alexander Victoria. I thank you for your inputs. I really do. I really appreciate it. There were some very good inputs. And I wish many more of you would start inputting. And Alexander, I hope to watch again because you really brought up some thoughts. And I appreciate it a lot. So thanks for tuning in, and I better get up before I fall out this sleep train. Go to sleep. All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate you tuning in to No More Water. Bye next time. See you next time.